down. Let's turn this down. All right, all right. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Pamela, and you are watching Pam Entertainment TV, where we review movies, television series, and incidents in pop culture to see how those incidents may or may not affect our daily lives. Y'all, I keep telling y'all, and I will get better, I promise. But sometimes it's easier for me to go live than it is for me to try to do this whole production of a video. I'll do the thumbnail later. So listen, you see the title, Lil Wayne video, my thoughts. So how y'all doing on this Friday? I hope y'all are doing okay. I'm feeling a little full. I made some pasta. I made a pasta dish, and I may have just eaten a tad more than I should have. So you get that real full feeling, but that's how I'm feeling. But I'm still feeling good, honey. One thing you don't call me late for is for a meal. But anyway, I wanted to go over real quickly with you all this Lil Wayne video. He came out. I actually saw it this evening, where Lil Wayne came out and he expressed his thoughts about not headlining the Super Bowl. So if you were under a rock, so just to kind of push people up to speed, if you were under a rock last week or earlier this weekend or last week, it was announced that Kendrick Lamar were going to be headlining the Super Bowl. And we saw the video of him talking about he's going to be headlining the Super Bowl and all what he's going to do. Well, when that dropped, honey, you had everybody and their great-grandmama on their first cousin side. You had all of them upset about it. We saw things from Nicki Minaj. We saw things, all kinds of different things and stuff like that. These people upset because you saw his manager be upset, and we do see something from Nicki Minaj I'm going to put up here later on for us to see. But we see that there were some people being upset about him not being part of the Super Bowl because it was in New Orleans. And then we had all of these think pieces across the social media talking about, well, it's in New Orleans. He should have been the headline. He should have been because it was in New Orleans. And for me, I'm thinking, folks just acting a little entitled. And I think they believe because Dr. Dre headlined the Super Bowl when it was in Los Angeles, I'm thinking that a lot of rappers are believing that when a Super Bowl comes to their city, they should be the headliner or be on the short list for the headliner. So I wanted to go back and add this up here, and shout out to Jay Black. I screenshotted this from his video down here. I like to tell my sources, child. So he had listed all these Super Bowls since 2010. And you see, and I like this graphic because it was like the year it hosted, the headliner, and the place of origin of the headliner. And as you can see, you got the Who in Miami, they're from London. You got the Black Eyed Peas, they're from Los Angeles, but they were in Dallas. Madonna, she's from Michigan, but she headlined in Indianapolis. Beyonce is from Houston, but she headlined in New Orleans. Bruno Mars is from Hawaii. He headlined in New Jersey. And just keep going down. Katy Perry's from Santa Barbara, California, but she headlined in Phoenix. Coldplay is from London, but they headlined in Santa Clara. Lady Gaga is from New York. She headlined in Houston. Justin Timberlake, because I remember that, they wanted to use a hologram. But he's from Memphis, but he headlined in Minneapolis. And as you can continue to go on and continue to go on and continue to go on. So when we looked at Dr. Dre and friends, he was really, if you look at it, the only person who was from Los Angeles that headlined in Los Angeles. Even when we did the next year, Rihanna's from the Barbados, but she headlined in Phoenix. And then you have Usher, that's from Dallas. I thought, is he from Dallas? I thought Usher was from Atlanta. Usher's from Atlanta, but he headlined in Vegas. And the logic with that is that he did that tremendous show in Vegas, and so he was going to headline. So you see on here that it's not an automatic that just because you're from a certain city that you're going to headline. Okay. Now, one of the things, let me bring back to the stage, which was interesting to me, is I got this from Twitter. Both of these screenshots are from Twitter. aka X. And this was from this particular one where you see Lil Wayne standing up, where it says confused, disappointed, angry, but most of all inspired. We will never again be in a position or have the GOAT in a position where we are at the mercy of someone else's decision. We will make the decisions. And that kind of stuck with me because I was trying to figure out what's going on. Why would they make that statement? And then I thought, were they in talks with Jay-Z and the NFL committee in the city of New Orleans? Were they in talks about them going into the Super Bowl? And were they told that they were in the running or it was a shoe-in? Were they told that and this is why? Or was this a direct response to the social media outcry about, oh my gosh, Lil Wayne is there he's from New Orleans and we're not going to hear or see them. I was wondering because I couldn't figure out a way which one the way it was going. For some people, that's what it was in terms of because Lil Wayne is from New Orleans, he should have been at the top of the list, and because he's a GOAT, he's a great rapper, he should have been at the top of the list. Other people who have said that yes, Lil Wayne is the GOAT. And Lil Wayne has always wanted to do the Super Bowl. There have been several shots of interviews where people have asked him about the Super Bowl previous to this one, previous to it coming out. And he was like, yeah, I would love to headline the Super Bowl. I would love to do this. Now, here's what some other people have brought forth. And, I'm just putting it in the zeitgeist for to understand. People are talking about the fact that probably Wayne hasn't put on he's not a very entertaining showman on stage, and that there was some criticism that they thought maybe could he carry a halftime show. Does he have the songs? Does he have the work? Absolutely. I mean, he clearly has the hits. He clearly has the hits when we look clearly at his discography. I just pulled this up in a Google search. As you see his discography here, he clearly has the hits. These are all, well, we're going to show more. Let's show more. You're talking about someone who has the hits, the albums, the hits. Lil Wayne has been doing this since what? It looks like 2002, 2000, somewhere in there. So Lil Wayne clearly has a discography. So it was never in any means about the hits, whether or not that Lil Wayne could do the Super Bowl. It was about probably the showmanship and the performance. Now, it is my understanding that there was a short list, and this who does the Super Bowl was by a committee. And they probably looked at several factors. They probably looked at the fact that who had the showmanship. They probably looked at the numbers, who's selling, and all this other stuff. Probably in the past, maybe 4 or 5 years, they probably looked at all of these different things. So surely, it was never about his discography. So we can just dead that. I don't think it was about his discography, but I do think it's about too. They were talking about his showmanship, and that Lil Wayne will forget his words and be late for concerts, or also that all of this is alleged. That he would not be in the right frame of mind due to mood altering chemicals. So that's what I could put it. Mood altering chemicals, that he just wouldn't be able to perform like he needed to do. He needed to. So these are some of the things that have been said. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But here are my thoughts. So before I put my thoughts, I would like for us to hear uh Lil Wayne's words. So I will share my screen. And let's listen to what Lil Wayne said and how he felt about this opportunity, this missed opportunity. So let me make this a little bigger.
Um, that hurt a lot. You know what I'm talking about it hurt a whole lot. I blame myself for not being mentally prepared for a letdown, and for just automatically mentally putting myself in that position, like somebody told me that was my position. So I blame myself for that. But I thought that was nothing, I thought that was nothing better than that spot and that stage and that platform.
Now I'm gonna stop it right here because he said something interesting to me. And I don't know if y'all peeped it or caught it. He said I wasn't mentally prepared for the letdown. He says I wasn't mentally prepared for the letdown. So apparently sounds like someone told him that he had it. And then he didn't. But let's continue because we'll repeat it. But I just want to go ahead and do a one playthrough for it.
In my city, and so I heard a whole lot. But y'all are fucking amazing. It made me feel like shit not getting this opportunity. And when I felt like shit, you guys reminded me that I ain't shit without y'all. And that's an amazing reality. So, like I said, it broke me, and I'm just trying to put me back together. But my God, have you all helped me? Thanks to all my peers, my friends, my family, my homies on sports television, everybody repping me. I really appreciate that. I really do. I feel like I let all of y'all down by not getting that opportunity. But I'm working on me, and I'm working. So thank you.
All right. So we heard from the words of Lil Wayne what he said. So there was a couple of things he mentioned. So he was very much peeping what people and how people were talking about him and during social media. And I apologize because that's the best one that had the better audio. The persons who put this thing together didn't have a mic or something like that, or they didn't have the phone close enough to them so that the sound quality would be a little bit better. But anyway, he talks as if, in my opinion, he talks as if he thought that he was promised this, that he had it in the bag, so to speak. So I don't know if that's what it was, but that's how he talks. That's how he talks, and he talks like he was let down. So he was upset and he was let down. Now, here's the thing: from all those people, like right here, who kept coming up about this, in my opinion, y'all may have made it worse than make it better. But let's read what Nicki Minaj says right after he had posted this. He said, she said, this too shall pass, but what you have done for the hip hop culture will remain. It will stand the test of time. Many times our greatest and most dehumanizing test is just a way for God to get the glory. You were simply used in a war of egos to people who are empty inside. All they have is their temporary power. Now, every day, this wicked people are spending money to circulate the worst of you, but the Lord will nullify each and every single attempt, and not only will it return to sender, it will be replaced with the best of you. You are human. They are not and never will be perfect. And when they go out of their way to circulate the worst of human beings, the worst of them shall be circulated and magnified too. Then she continues to go on. So shout out to Reverend Minaj. Shout out to Reverend Minaj for her encouraging words. And so I started looking at that like, why is he so hurt? Why is he so hurt? We really need to figure out why he is so hurt. And let me just put the other slide up just because I just want to show it. Because I did somebody had mentioned, and I looked at this, that Kendrick is dropping on certain events. So we saw, and this is what people are saying the title of the song is. I still don't see the title of the song with the black Air Force One cover art, but it's Watch the Party Die, and you notice that it dropped on 9/11. And then you have Not Like Us, and you notice that it dropped on the 4th of July. And then you remember the pop out concert, you know, it dropped on Juneteenth. So I just wanted to show that slide, y'all. Just because. But here's my thoughts. Why was Lil Wayne so upset? Not only because of the fact that it's in New Orleans, because remember, I showed you that slide that it wasn't promised that the people who headlined were from the city that the where the Super Bowl is being hosted. It hasn't been like that. It hasn't been like that. They haven't been from the city that was hosting the Super Bowl. So why is he upset? And then I started to think, you know why? This is my opinion. This is Pam from Pam Entertainment and TV. All alleged. This is just my opinion. I don't think he was hurt in regards that he was the Super Bowl was in his city and he wasn't the person that was doing the Super Bowl. I think he was hurt by who is the curator of the Super Bowls. I think he was hurt because Jay-Z, he feels like Jay-Z, one of his top five rappers, snubbed him. I do. I just think it's just as basic as that. I think he's upset that one of his top five favorite rappers snubbed him. He feels snubbed. I think that there was a conversation, and I'm being real. I think that there was a conversation, and from the end of that conversation, he felt like he was going to be chosen. But and again, maybe in that conversation, because here we go. These are, I'm just showing you or scrolling through. Lil Wayne reveals his own greatest rappers list, and these are his top five. He said it was no way in any order, but these are his top five, right? And they did this. This was by Haran Mamo back in 2023. Okay. Missy Elliott, Jay-Z, UGK, Goody Mob, the Notorious B.I.G. These are his top five. Again, the Notorious B.I.G. number 5, Goody Bob number 4, UGK number 3, Jay-Z number 2, and Missy Elliott number 1. I think that he was upset because he was snubbed by who he considers a GOAT. And when he talked about not being mentally prepared for not getting it, I think that, again, I think that there was some conversations had. But again, I believe that there was a short list. I believe that there was a short list. And I believe that all the people that they had a short list for, even if they had their top five, I just think maybe Lil Wayne hit at number 6. They had a top 5 and Lil Wayne hit at number 6. Because when you talk about being from New Orleans, there are so many artists that are from New Orleans. You have the Juveniles, you have the Master P, you have Birdman and all them, that whole crew, Manny Fresh, all of them. You have all of those people, but you also have people like Wynton Marsalis, Harriet Connick Jr., and other different genres of music. Because again, just because Jay-Z is the curator doesn't mean that now the Super Bowl has to play rap music or the headliner has to be a rapper. That is not really the case. And I think if for those of us that love hip hop, we can mess around and feel a little entitled that, oh, Jay-Z is up there, so he's going to put all these rappers on. No, that's not really the case. He's not going to really do that. And again, we're learning that this is by committee. And from what I also understand just from watching different social media videos and things like that, the part of the committee was the city, and the city didn't vote Lil Wayne high enough for him to get the headlining spot in New Orleans. And I just think honestly, and let's be very real, if Drake was the one having the stellar year, he probably would have done the Super Bowl. But since Kendrick has had the stellar year, and Kendrick has shown, and at least, now let's go back to my slide. He has shown in videos like Not Like Us, then he had the Pop Out concert, and then he did something else where he was on television as well that I can't remember. So he has shown showmanship, and plus he had one of the highest grossing hip hop tours ever. So he's coming off. So he is a showman. We have seen little clippets and things like that. He's a creative. He's a showman. So he's a decent choice. He's a good choice. I mean, come on. We had Rihanna. Was it Rihanna last year? Come on, let me get back to we had Usher last year. We had Rihanna the year before. And let's be clear, I love me some Rihanna, but she didn't do as much as she could because at that time she was pregnant. We had The Weeknd in Tampa. He did he didn't do as, because I'm not into The Weeknd, so I just didn't was feeling that one. I think I enjoyed the Lady Gaga. I enjoyed any one of those Super Bowl halftime shows that had Bruno Mars in it. I enjoyed it. I truly, truly did, because he had hits. But I think honestly and truly, if we're just gonna put it out there, I think that Lil Wayne was upset because he was snubbed by one of his goats. That's just the way I feel about it. Y'all let me know down in the comments what you think. Why do you think Lil Wayne is upset? Do you think somebody told Lil Wayne or had it postured that he was going to get it because of the fact that he was from New Orleans and he is one of the greatest rappers? Y'all let me know down here in the comments. Again, I keep telling y'all it's easier for me to go live than it is for me to try to sit down and curate this video because I can get my thoughts off better. All right, people. We do this every week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video if you care. Y'all, do you think anybody from New Orleans is going to want to do, any of the little rappers from New Orleans are going to want to do the show? And who says that Kendrick's halftime show is going to be based around any of those rappers? Because I'm looking back at this song. What are we entitling the song that he just dropped with the Black Air Force One, Watch the Party Die? It's clear in that song when I've listened to it like 3 or 4 times, he is basically talking about the industry, how the way that the industry, the hip hop game, the rap industry has gone probably in the past 20 years. It has leaned too far on one side of the ratchet, the degradation, the drug use, the violence, all of that stuff. It has leaned so far to that's what people are starting to believe hip hop is, and there's no longer a balance, because you should be able to balance the conscious with the ratchet. I mean, because even when you look at women rappers, and when you go back in the day, there was always a balance. You may have had the Lil Kims, but you had the Queen Latifahs and the MC Lights out there too. You may have had Foxy Brown, but you had Yo-Yo. You had the Lady of Rage. There was always a balance, because even now, when you look at the state of lady rappers, the Megs, the Glorillas, the Sexy Reds, the what's that little girl? What's that little girl's name? Ice Spice. Cardi B's, the Nicki Minaj's. They're all, it's the same template. It's just, I don't know. See, I'm fixing to show my age now. It's just like a long time ago, they used to have these little dolls, these little paper dolls, cardboard dolls. And then you would take the little paper clothes and you would put the different types of clothes on it. That's how I look at them. They're just little paper dolls, and all you're doing is putting the same, pretty much the same type of clothes, giving them the same type of topics and lyrics, and that's it. There's no big diversity, but you have the Rhapsodies out here. I can't think of what is that young lady's name? She was popular during the pandemic. I can't think of what her name is right now, but you have those types of lady rappers that don't get the showcase because there is no longer a balance, and that happens to be because you have the underbelly of rap, the people who are running the machine. You know, they're cranking out the same types of stuff, and if you think that this is crazy, it's the same thing that's happened with R&B. People don't sing anymore. There's no distinction. You can't tell a Queen Naija from a Tyler or whatever. You can't tell the voices. People don't have distinct voices anymore. Also, people don't know how to put on shows. There's no showmanship. People stand up there singing and they're halfway out of the breath. They're singing with the backing track with their vocals attached to it. Anyway, that might be a whole nother video. Y'all let me know if y'all interested in that. All right. Again, please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video if you care. Y'all, please tell a friend, tell a kin, tell a coworker, tell that heifer that you can't stand that I'm over here making these videos. And as always, people, bye-bye.